Well-known sports media figure Bill Simmons recently sparked conversation with his evaluation of the Los Angeles Lakers coaching situation. During a recent podcast episode, Simmons remarked that head coach J.J. Redick appears noticeably overwhelmed during games. He suggested that the first-year coach looks visibly tense on the sidelines, even joking that Redick seems like he needs a drink while watching the action unfold. These comments came as Simmons broke down the Lakers' season performance and the internal factors shaping the team's current trajectory. Although the Lakers maintain a solid record and remain firmly in the playoff race, Simmons believes their success does not tell the full story. He argued that underlying problems indicate the team is performing better than its actual level of play. One of the most troubling issues has been defense, as Los Angeles has ranked near the bottom of the league in defensive efficiency over the past 15 games. This sharp decline raises major concerns about the Lakers' ability to compete effectively once the postseason begins. Simmons was equally blunt when addressing the team's offensive output. Over the same 15-game span, the Lakers have recorded one of the worst offensive ratings in the NBA. Only struggling teams such as Sacramento, Indiana, Utah, and Washington have fared worse offensively during that stretch. These numbers contradict the Lakers' winning record and suggest their success has relied more on narrow victories and favorable late-game outcomes than on consistent dominance. Team chemistry has also become a talking point. Simmons observed that the Lakers do not resemble a unified or particularly joyful group, despite their competitive standing. His comments align with recent ESPN reporting that highlighted tension within the organization following a shift away from LeBron James as the franchise's central figure. The move toward building around Luka Doncic has reportedly created discomfort and affected overall morale inside the locker room. Redick's first season as an NBA head coach has proven far from smooth. The former sharpshooter accepted one of the league's most demanding roles by taking charge of a franchise defined by championship expectations and complicated internal dynamics. Managing the transition from a LeBron-led roster to one centered on Doncic while still delivering results would challenge even veteran coaches. For a rookie head coach, the pressure is enormous and appears to be taking a visible toll. The defensive issues Simmons emphasized may be the most alarming concern for Lakers supporters. Ranking 29th in defensive rating across a 15-game sample reflects more than a brief slump. It suggests a troubling trend. Teams with championship ambitions cannot sustain such defensive inefficiency and expect deep playoff runs. Opponents are scoring with relative ease, and Los Angeles has yet to establish consistent rotations or schemes that produce reliable stops. Some of the defensive struggles stem from roster construction. The Lakers lack elite perimeter defenders and have been inconsistent in protecting the rim. While the roster includes skilled offensive players, defensive flexibility and switchability have remained persistent weaknesses. Redick has tested multiple lineup combinations, but none have resolved the core defensive problems that continue to plague the team. The decline in offensive efficiency is just as concerning. A lineup featuring Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves should, in theory, rank among the NBA's most productive offenses. Instead, falling into the league's bottom 5 offensively over a 15-game span points to deeper issues. These problems may involve spacing, execution, ball movement, or off-ball activity, all of which fall squarely within the coaching staff's responsibilities. Simmons' prediction that the Lakers would lose any first-round playoff series due to their defensive shortcomings may sound harsh, but it could be realistic. Playoff basketball places a premium on defense, discipline, and precise execution. When possessions become more valuable and opponents adjust strategically, teams cannot simply outscore their weaknesses. Based on their current defensive form, the Lakers would likely struggle against well-organized playoff competition. Additional complications arise from reported tension between the Doncic and James camps. ESPN reporting indicated that the Lakers made it clear during the offseason that the franchise now belongs to Doncic rather than James. While this shift may be necessary for long-term planning, it introduces sensitive interpersonal challenges. Redick must manage two generational talents with different playing styles, expectations, and levels of influence within the organization. Handling LeBron James alone is a difficult task for any coach. The future Hall of Famer has been the NBA's most influential player for nearly 2 decades and is accustomed to having input on roster decisions, strategies, and organizational direction. Asking him to assume a secondary role, even behind a player as talented as Doncic, represents a major adjustment. Redick must navigate this transition carefully to keep James motivated and productive. Simmons' comments about the unusual atmosphere surrounding the Lakers reflect what others around the league have noticed. The team does not consistently display the joy or cohesion often seen in successful organizations. An undercurrent of tension occasionally emerges during games and post-game interviews. Whether this stems from leadership changes, defensive frustrations, or other internal factors remains unclear. The mid-50s win pace Simmons referenced would be respectable for many franchises, but it falls short for a team with championship ambitions and 2 elite stars. For the Lakers, being good is not enough. They are expected to be great. Recent trends suggest they are moving away from that standard, rather than building momentum toward the postseason. If Simmons' characterization of Redick's sideline stress is accurate, it highlights the magnitude of the challenge he faces. First-time head coaches often experience steep learning curves involving rotations, game management, player relationships, and constant media scrutiny. Coaching the Lakers, one of the league's most analyzed franchises, magnifies every difficulty. The pressure to win immediately is immense and appears to be weighing heavily. Recent games have exposed vulnerabilities that opponents will continue to exploit. Teams have discovered defensive approaches that limit the Lakers' offensive effectiveness and strategies that target their defensive weaknesses. Without meaningful adjustments, these problems are likely to intensify as teams prepare more specifically for playoff matchups. Amid these challenges, the Lakers made a low-profile but potentially important move last summer by signing forward Jake LaRavia to a 2-year, $12 million contract. While the deal attracted little attention compared to larger transactions around the league, LaRavia has steadily emerged as one of the team's most dependable and versatile role players this season. His willingness to embrace any assignment has made him increasingly valuable in Redick's rotation. LaRavia's path this season highlights how professionalism and adaptability are rewarded in the NBA. The 24-year-old arrived in Los Angeles without guaranteed minutes or a defined role. Rather than demanding opportunities, he focused on preparation and staying ready. When injuries opened the door to increased responsibility, he consistently delivered. The Lakers have endured numerous injuries throughout the season, testing their depth. When Rui Hachimura was sidelined, LaRavia stepped into the starting lineup seamlessly. Transitioning from a bench role to a starting position requires readiness and confidence, and LaRavia responded by improving his production across several statistical categories. Defense has become one of LaRavia's most valuable contributions. He has demonstrated the ability to guard multiple positions, switching onto wings and holding his own against quicker players. His versatility gives Redick greater lineup flexibility and allows the team to match up more effectively. In today's positionless NBA, defenders who can credibly guard multiple roles are essential. LaRavia's rebounding has also improved since becoming a starter. He consistently secures defensive boards, helping limit second-chance opportunities and initiate offensive possessions. While rebounding may seem fundamental, it often separates good teams from great ones. His impact in this area should not be overlooked. When discussing his approach, LaRavia emphasized adaptability. He noted that he filled similar roles earlier in the season when LeBron James was injured, showing that adjustment is nothing new for him. His description of himself as someone who wears many hats captures his mindset. Rather than chasing a defined role, he reads each game and responds accordingly. Recent performances illustrate that adaptability. Against New Orleans, LaRavia attempted only 5 shots and focused on defense, rebounding, and ball movement. In the following game, circumstances demanded more scoring aggression, and he responded by attacking offensively. This level of awareness and selflessness is uncommon, especially among younger players. LaRavia's philosophy centers on controlling what he can control. He cannot dictate matchups or strategies, but he can manage his effort, preparation, and defensive intensity. By focusing on these elements, he maximizes his impact regardless of role. The Lakers' offense revolves around Doncic and James, whose gravity creates opportunities for others. LaRavia understands defenses prioritize stopping star players, leaving openings for role players willing to make smart plays. His ability to contribute without high usage makes him an ideal complementary piece. Shooting efficiency is critical in such systems. After struggling from the perimeter late last season, LaRavia committed to improving his shot. The confidence built through personal work and team trust has helped him regain his touch. He credited coaches and teammates for maintaining belief during his slump, which allowed him to work through difficulties without losing confidence. LaRavia's strong play has financial implications. His contract includes a player option for next season, giving him flexibility. If his performance continues, declining the option and testing free agency would make financial sense. Reliable role players on affordable contracts often draw strong interest. For the Lakers, retaining players like LaRavia should be a priority as they build around Doncic. Versatile, low-maintenance contributors provide stability and allow stars to thrive. LaRavia fits that profile perfectly. As the February 5th trade deadline approaches, the Lakers face another challenge. Despite their strong record, meaningful roster upgrades appear unlikely. Reports indicate the team has hard-capped itself below the first salary apron, leaving roughly $1 million in trade flexibility. In today's NBA, that amount offers virtually no room for improvement. The Lakers also lack draft assets, having already traded future picks in prior deals, including the blockbuster acquisition of Doncic. This combination of limited cap space and depleted assets leaves the team with few realistic trade options. According to an anonymous Western Conference executive, the Lakers may need to wait until the offseason to address roster needs. The current collective bargaining agreement has made mid-season trades more restrictive, particularly for teams near the luxury tax thresholds. By staying under the first apron, the Lakers preserved future flexibility but sacrificed short-term maneuverability. Ultimately, fans should temper expectations for major deadline moves. The focus will remain on internal growth, health, and tactical adjustments. For now, Redick must extract the best possible results from the roster already in place.